Good morning. Laches day 4. Nicias. I see very clearly, Laches, that you have only known Socrates' father, and have no acquaintance with Socrates himself. At least you can only have known him when he was a child, and may have met him among his fellow men, in company with his father, at a sacrifice or at some other gathering. You clearly show that you have never known him since he arrived at manhood. Why do you say that, Nicias? Because you seem not to be aware that anyone who is close to Socrates and enters into conversation with him is liable to be drawn into an argument. And whatever subject he may start, he will be continually carried round and round by him, until at last he finds that he has to give an account both of his present and past life. And when he is once entangled, Socrates will not let him go until he has completely and thoroughly sifted him. Now I am used to these ways, and I know that he will certainly do as I say, and also that I myself shall be the sufferer, for I am fond of his conversation. Laches. So he spins a web around people that some people actually find quite enjoyable. Circling actually comes to mind. That you have to give an account of things that you're not used to giving an account of to people, things that you usually do not talk about, which just keep to yourself and maybe to that one friend who knows everything about you. But even then you say it in a different way than when you say it to relative strangers. And I think that there is no harm in being reminded of any wrong thing which we are or have been doing. He who does not fly from reproof will be sure to take more heed of his afterlife. So people who enjoy being spun in this web are people who think that there is no harm in being reminded of any wrong thing that which we are or have been doing. That might be part of the pain of being seen for who you truly are, or also for who you also truly are. We don't always like all of us. And sometimes we don't like to look at our ugly parts, or the parts that we're ashamed of. As Solon says, he will wish and desire to be learning so long as he lives, and will not think that old age of itself brings wisdom. Oh, yay! He will wish and desire. I should make a note of this for Sarah. I make notes in random books, and then I forget where I made my notes. But okay, I'll try. He will wish and desire to be learning as long as he lives, and will not think that old age of itself brings wisdom. To me, to be cross-examined by Socrates is neither unusual nor unpleasant. Indeed, I was fairly certain all along that where Socrates was, the subject of discussion would soon be ourselves, not our sons, and therefore I say, for my part, I am quite willing to discourse with Socrates in his own manner, but you had better ask our friend Laches what his feeling may be. Know thyself. And that is earlier when I read, but now I can't remember if it was a part of that I recorded or not. I said that Socrates will make a turn. How should we best educate our sons? He will make an interesting turn. It's still to come, the exact words, but it's hinted at here. Laches, I have but one feeling, Nikias, or shall I say two feelings about discussions. Some would think that I am a lover, and to others I may seem to be a hater of discourse. For when I hear a man discoursing of virtue, or of any sort of wisdom, who is a true man and worthy of this theme, I am delighted beyond measure. And I compare the man and his words, and note the harmony and correspondence of them. And such a one I deem to be the true musician, attuned to a fairer harmony than that of the lyre, or any pleasant instrument of music. For he truly has in his own life a harmony of words and deeds arranged, not in the Ionian or the Praetorian mode, nor yet in the Lydian, but in the true Hellenic mode, which is the Dorian, and no other. Such a one makes me merry with the sound of his voice, and when I hear him I am thought to be a lover of discourse. So eager am I in drinking in his words. Yesterday, one of the people who were presenting on art and nature, Oika art, mentioned that she finds it a bit disturbing sometimes if people try to make beauty, so artists who do not necessarily strive to be good, that there's a discrepancy between trying to show people beauty through your art and being reckless with the way you live and who you are. The art somehow loses some of its magic, some of its allure. This comes to mind. So eager am I in drinking in his words. But a man whose actions do not agree with his words is an annoyance to me, and the better he speaks, the more I hate him, and then I seem to be a hater of discourse. As to Socrates, I have no knowledge of his words, but of old, as appears, I have had experience of his deeds, and his deeds show that he is entitled to noble sentiments and complete freedom of speech. And if his words accord, then I am of one mind with him, and shall be delighted to be interrogated by a man such as he is, and shall not be annoyed at having to learn of him. For I too agree with Solon, that I would fain grow old, learning many things. But I must be allowed to add, from the good only. I do have this as well. It pisses me completely off. It pisses me off completely when people try to teach me. And yet I am someone who eagerly listens to teachers. But it has to be people that I have chosen. I know who knows more than me, and I know... Oh, that sounds vain. But yeah, maybe it's true. Well, no. Let me put it another way. It becomes apparent to me quite quickly when someone doesn't know more than I know, but are sure that they do, because they have no idea what I know, which, I mean, granted, how could they? But yeah, I choose my teachers carefully. And I choose my teachers also amongst my friends. I have beautiful friends who know more of many things than I do, and I eagerly submit myself to their teaching. But if someone tried to teach me without having been chosen as such, Socrates must be willing to allow that the teacher himself is a good man, or I shall be a dull and reluctant pupil, but that the teacher is rather young, or not as yet in repute. Anything of that sort is of no account with me. And therefore, Socrates, so it is in his younger years, I invite you to teach and confute me as much as ever you like, and also learn of me anything which I know. So high is the opinion which I have entertained of you ever since the day on which you were my companion in danger, and gave a proof of your valor such as only the man of merit can give. Therefore, say whatever you like, and do not mind about the differences of our ages. Oh, that's so cute. Socrates, I cannot say that either of you shows any reluctance to take counsel and advice with me. Lysimachus, but this is our proper business, and yours as well as ours, for I reckon you as one of us. Please then to take my place and find out from Nicias and Laches what we want to know, for the sake of the youths, and talk and consult with them, for I am old, and my memory is bad, and I do not remember the questions which I intend to ask, or the answers to them, and if there is any digression, I lose the thread. Ah, poor Lysimachus. I will therefore beg of you to carry on the proposed discussions by yourselves, and I will listen, and Milesias and I will act upon your conclusions. Socrates, let us, Nicias and Laches, comply with the request of Lysimachus and Milesias. There will be no harm in... I'm laughing because I just realized I've lost track. I'm not sure who is who yet still. Like who... I imagine if Lysimachus says he's very old, then I imagine Nicias and Laches are actually the two asking for advice about their sons. And they propose to ask the two older men, Lysimachus and Milesias. I have lost track completely. I am old. There will be no harm in asking ourselves the question which was proposed to us just now. Who have been our own instructors in this sort of training, or whom have we ourselves made better? But another mode of carrying on the inquiry will bring us equally to the same point, and perhaps starts nearer to first principles. For if we know that the addition of something would improve some other thing, and are able to make the addition, then clearly we must know how that about which we are advising may be best and most easily attained. Perhaps you do not understand what I mean. Then let me make my meaning plainer in this way. Suppose we know that the addition of sight makes better the eyes which possesses this gift, and also are able to impart sight to the eyes. Then clearly we know the nature of sight, and should be able to advise how this gift of sight may be best and most easily attained. But if we knew neither that what sight is, nor what hearing is, we should not be very good medical advisers about the eyes or the ears, or about the best mode of giving sight and hearing to them. That is true, Socrates. That is also stating the obvious, which Socrates is so good at doing, and then making twists, like going from stating the obvious to what? Have a beautiful day.